Hello everyone and welcome back to my class. As you know that I am Manisa, teacher and junior lecturer of Elizabeth High School and Junior College. So in today's class we are discussing about the chapter 6th, which is dealing with the civic subject first year, and chapter name is rights and duties here. Here rights. First we will go with the meaning and definitions of rights here. Here rights are the common claim of the people which every cultured society recognizes as essential claims for the development and which are enforced by the state. Exactly. So this is the meaning of right. Now we will see the definition of the rights. Here the political scientists have defined the term right in several ways by the scientists like Ernest Walker, T.H. Green and John Rawls. So these are the scientists who define the rights in their views in several ways. Now we will see the features of right. Here the rights comprises of the features like rights are possible only in society, rights are inherent in nature, rights are not absolute, rights are universal, rights are precede the state, the rights are meant for common good. Exactly. Now after the features of right, now we will see the classification of rights here. Here rights are broadly classified into three categories, and they are natural rights, moral rights and legal rights. Here see this flowchart of the classification of rights here. After this same classification of rights, again here the legal rights are classified into three types, and they are civil rights, political rights and economic rights. When come to the safeguards of rights, here it's defined as that the here individuals enjoys their rights only when they were fully protected or safeguarded by the state. So here the elements act as a safeguard of the rights. The new laws has safeguards to protect the rights of the citizens. So there are many safeguards here built into the system to prevent the fraud. Here the laws are that safeguard the rights of the citizens need to safeguard the computer as from against the virus. Exactly. And those are democratic rule, written constitution, constitutional incorporation, separation of powers, decentralization of powers, rule of law, independent and impartial judiciary, independent press, social and economic equalities, internal vigilance. Now after the classification of rights, here the human rights are there. Here human rights are those moral rights that are morally important and basic, and they are held by every human being because they are processed in the virtue of the universal moral status of the human being. Exactly. So here the human rights are one of those significant aspects of the human political reality. So it is the moral rights of the highest order that the human rights are evolved out of the self-respect, and it has its intrinsic to all the human without any discrimination of race, sex, nationality and language, religion and color, etc. are there. So here the various governments in the democratic state will take the appropriate steps for the providing human rights to their people and protect them. So when we come to the Indian Constitution and human rights, here the Constitution of India incorporated the many of the human rights and mentioned in the UN Declaration of the Human Rights. So here especially the Article 19 to 28 of the chapter 3rd of the fundamental rights are in consonance with the human rights of individuals. So they are related to the life, liberty, equality and dignity of the individuals. Exactly. So here the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution guaranteed the freedom of speech, expression and the association and assembly. So it is conferring freedom of occupation, settlement, movement, etc. are there. Whereas the Article 20 is provide the protection to the personal life of individuals. Exactly. Now come to the human rights in India. So here in India, being the largest democratic state in the world, it renewed for the provision of the human rights to its people. Here the Union Parliament approved the human rights preservation through the Act in 1993. Here the Act provided for the setting up of the National Human Rights Commission, that is NHRC. So all these are about the rights. Now we will discuss about the duties. Here, a duty is an obligation of an individual towards the other individual residing in the society. It is regarded as an obligation or duty towards the others. So, every citizen has a certain duties to perform towards the state. Exactly. So, here the term duty denotes what is bound to do, and they establish the peace and order in society. So, here the duties always protect the rights. Exactly. Now, we will see the meaning and definition of duty here. Here in meaning and definition, a duty or the obligation to satisfactorily perform or to complete a task. Here duty is also often something on to one's country, that is patriotism, or to one's homeland or to one's community. Exactly. So here the civic duties which include obey the law, pay taxes and provide for a common defense and should the needed arises. Exactly. Now we will see the types of duties here. Duties are broadly classified into two, that are moral and legal. And again here the legal duties are classified into two, positive duties and negative duties. So whereas the fundamental duty is in the Indian Constitution, which is in the Article 51A of the Indian Constitution, provides the 11 fundamental duties, and it shall be the duty of every citizen to obey and practice it. Exactly. So after that, now we will see about the relationship between the rights and duties here. So here there is a close relationship between the rights and the duties. Here the two are considered as the two sides of the same coin. Exactly. Here rights are incomplete in the absence of duties, whereas the right implies the duties and duties are entitled to rights only. Exactly. Here the two are the inseparable. Exactly. So if the state gives the right to life to the citizen, it also imposes an obligation on him to not to expose his life to danger, and as well as to the respect the life of others also. Here the right is not just a law to allow the individual or to governing bodies to do or to say anything they wish. Here the primary differences between the rights and the duties is that the right is based on the privilege granted to an individual, whereas the duty is based on the performing that duty by an individual. Exactly. So see this comparison between the rights and duties. By this observing of differences and the comparison of the rights and duties, by this we have completed our 6th chapter, that is rights and duties. Thank you.